Hi, friends. It's Dana Williston from Our Blooming Catholic Life. I watched a video earlier today. It was a Q&A with Bishop Athanasius Snyder, and he was talking about how if we want our will to equal the will of God, if we really want to love the will of God and unite our will to His, there is a prayer for that in the Bible. It is Psalm 118, 119 in some Bibles numbered differently. You may have also heard of it called the Alphabet Psalm, because in Hebrew, each of these sections would begin with a new letter, the alphabet. So it is actually sectioned off in mine with those letters as subheadings. Let me see if I can hold this up to show you, just so you know the psalm I'm talking about. Let's see if I can pull this off here. See, here's the first one. Let's just go ahead and jump in and pray psalm together. Who doesn't want their will to be united to the will of God? Let's jump in and pray. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Blessed are the undefiled in the way who walk in the law of the Lord. Blessed are they that search his testimonies, that seek him with their whole heart. For they that work iniquity have not walked in his ways. Thou hast commanded thy commandments to be kept most diligently. Oh, that my ways may be directed to keep thy justifications. Then shall I not be confounded when I shall look into all thy commandments. I will praise thee with uprightness of heart, when I shall have learned the judgments of thy justice. I will keep thy justifications. Oh, do not thou utterly forsake me. By what doth a young man correct his way? By observing thy words. With my whole heart have I sought after thee. Let me not stray from thy commandments. Thy words I have hidden in my heart, that I may not sin against thee. Blessed art thou, O Lord. Teach me thy justifications. With my lips I have pronounced all the judgments of thy mouth. I have been delighted in the way of thy testimonies, as in all riches. I will meditate on thy commandments, and I will consider thy ways. I will think of thy justifications. I will not forget thy words. Give bountifully to thy servant, enliven me, and I shall keep thy words. Open thou my eyes, and I will consider the wondrous things of thy law. I am a sojourner on the earth. Hide not thy commandments from me. My soul hath coveted too long for thy justifications at all times. Thou hast rebuked the proud. They are cursed who decline from thy commandments. Remove from me reproach and contempt, because I have sought after thy testimonies. For princes sat and spoke against me, but thy servant was employed in thy justifications. For thy testimonies are my meditation, and thy justifications my counsel. My soul hath cleaved to the pavement. Quicken thou me according to thy word. I have declared my ways, and thou hast heard me. Teach me thy justifications. Make me to understand the way of thy justifications, and I shall be exercised in thy wondrous works. My soul hath slumbered through heaviness. Strengthen thou me in thy words. Remove from me the way of iniquity, and out of thy law have mercy on me. I have chosen the way of truth. Thy judgments I have not forgotten. I have struck to thy testimonies, O Lord, put me not to shame. I have run the way of thy commandments when thou didst enlarge my heart. Set before me for a law the way of thy justification, O Lord, and I will always seek after it. Give me understanding, and I will search thy law, and I will keep it with my whole heart. Lead me into the path of thy commandments, for this same I have desired. Incline my heart into thy testimonies, and not to covetousness. Turn away my eyes, that they may not behold vanity. Quicken me in thy way. Establish thy word to thy servant in thy fear. Turn away my reproach, which I have apprehended, for thy judgments are delightful. Behold, I have longed after thy precepts. Quicken me in thy justice. Let thy mercy also come upon me, O Lord, thy salvation according to thy word. So shall I answer them that reproach me in anything, that I have trusted in thy words. And take not thou the word of truth utterly out from my mouth, for in thy words I have hoped exceedingly. So shall I always keep thy law, forever and ever. And I walked at large because I have sought after thy commandments, and I spoke of thy testimonies before kings, and I was not ashamed. I meditated also on thy commandments, which I loved, and I lifted up my hands to thy commandments, which I loved, and I was exercised in thy justifications. Be thou mindful of thy word to the servant, in which thou hast given me hope. This hath comforted me in my humiliation, because thy word hath enlivened me. The proud did iniquitously altogether, but I declined not from thy law. I remembered, O Lord, thy judgments of old, and I was comforted. A fainting hath taken a hold of me, because of the wicked that forsake thy law. Thy justifications were the subject of my song, in the place of my pilgrimage. In the night I have remembered thy name, O Lord, and have kept thy law. This happened to me, because I sought after thy justifications. O Lord, my portion, I have said I would keep thy law. I entreated thy face with all my heart. Have mercy on me according to thy word. I have thought on my ways and turned my feet unto thy testimonies. I am ready and am not troubled, that I may keep thy commandments. The cords of the wicked have encompassed me, but I have not forgotten thy law. I rose at midnight to give praise to thee for the judgments of thy justification. I am a partaker with all them that fear thee, and that keep thy commandments. The earth, O Lord, is full of thy mercy. Teach me thy justifications. Thou hast done well with thy servant, O Lord, according to thy word. Teach me goodness and discipline and knowledge, for I have believed thy commandments. Before I was humbled, I offended. Therefore have I kept thy word. Thou art good, and in thy goodness teach me thy justifications. The iniquity of the proud hath been multiplied over me, but I will seek thy commandments with my whole heart. Their heart is curdled like milk, but I have meditated upon thy law. It is good for me that thou hast humbled me, that I may learn thy justifications. The law of thy mouth is good to me, above thousands of gold and silver. Thy hands have made me, informed me. Give me understanding, and I will learn thy commandments. They that fear thee shall see me, and shall be glad, because I have greatly hoped in thy words. I know, O Lord, that thy judgments are equity, and in thy truth thou hast humbled me. O let thy mercy be for my comfort, according to thy word unto thy servant. Let thy tender mercies come unto me, and I shall live, for thy law is my meditation. Let the proud be ashamed, because they have done unjustly towards me, but I will be employed in thy commandments. Let them that fear thee turn to me, and they that know thy testimonies. Let my heart be undefiled in thy justifications, that I may not be confounded. My soul hath fainted after thy salvation, and in thy word I have very much hoped. My eyes have failed for thy word, saying, when wilt thou comfort me? For I am become like a bottle in the frost. I have not forgotten thy justifications. How many are the days of thy servant? When wilt thou execute judgment on them that persecute me? The wicked have told me fables, but not as thy law. All thy statutes are truth. They have persecuted me unjustly. Do thou help me. They had almost made an end of me upon earth, but I have not forsaken thy commandments. Quicken thou me according to thy mercy, and I shall keep the testimonies of thy mouth. Forever, O Lord, thy word standeth firm in heaven. Thy truth unto all generations. Thou hast founded the earth, and it continueth. By thy ordinance the day goeth on. For all things serve thee. Unless thy law had been my meditation, I had then perhaps perished in my abjection. Goodness. Thy justifications I will never forget, for by them thou hast given me life. I am thine, save thou me, for I have sought thy justifications. The wicked have waited for me to destroy me, but I have understood thy testimonies. I have seen an end of all perfection. Thy commandment is exceedingly broad. Oh, how I have loved thy law, O Lord. It is my meditation all the day. Through thy commandment, thou hast made me wiser than my enemies, for it is ever with me. I have understood more than all my teachers, because thy testimonies are my meditation. I have had understanding above the ancients, because I have sought thy commandments. I have restrained my feet from every evil way, that I may keep thy words. I have not declined from thy judgments, because thou hast set me a law. How sweet are thy words to my palate, more than honey to my mouth. By thy commandments I have had understanding. Therefore have I hated every way of iniquity. Thy word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my paths. I have sworn and am determined to keep the judgments of thy justice. I have been humbled, O Lord, exceedingly. Quicken thou me according to thy word. The free offerings of my mouth make acceptable, O Lord, and teach me thy judgments. My soul is continually in my hands, and I have not forgotten thy law. Sinners have laid a snare for me, but I have not erred from thy precepts. I have purchased thy testimonies for an inheritance forever, because they are the joy of my heart. I have inclined my heart to do thy justifications forever, for the reward. I have hated the unjust, and have loved thy law. Thou art my helper and my protector, and in thy word I have greatly hoped. Depart from me, ye malignant, and I will search the commandments of my God. Uphold me according to thy word, and I shall live, and let me not be confounded in my expectation. Help me, and I shall be saved, and I will meditate always on thy justifications. Thou hast despised all them that fall off from thy judgments, for their thought is unjust. I have accounted all the sinners of the earth prevaricators. Therefore I have loved thy testimonies. Pierce thou my flesh with thy fear, for I am afraid of thy judgments. I have done judgment and justice. Give me not up to them that slander me. Uphold thy servant unto good. Let not the proud calumniate me. My eyes have fainted after thy salvation, for the word of thy justice. Deal with thy servant according to thy mercy, and teach me thy justifications. I am thy servant. Give me understanding, that I may know thy testimonies. It is time, O Lord, to do. They have dissipated thy law. Therefore have I loved thy commandments above gold and the topaz. Therefore was I directed to all thy commandments. I have hated all wicked ways. Thy testimonies are wonderful. Therefore my soul hath sought them. The declaration of thy words giveth light and giveth understanding to little ones. I opened my mouth and panted, because I longed for thy commandments. Look thou upon me and have mercy on me, according to thy judgment of them that love thy name. Direct my steps according to thy word, and let no iniquity have dominion over me. Redeem me from the calumnies of men, that I may keep thy commandments. Make thy face to shine upon thy servant, and teach me thy justifications. My eyes have sent forth springs of water, because they have not kept thy law. Thou art just, O Lord, and thy judgment is right. Thou hast commanded justice, thy testimonies, and thy truth exceedingly. My zeal hath made me pine away, because my enemies forgot thy words. Thy word is exceedingly refined, and thy servant hath loved it. I am very young and despised, but I forget not thy justifications. Thy justice is justice forever, and thy law is truth. Trouble and anguish have found me. Thy commandments are my meditation. Thy testimonies are justice forever. Give me understanding, and I shall live. I cried with my whole heart, hear me, O Lord, I will seek thy justifications. I cried unto thee, save me, that I may keep thy commandments. I prevented the dawning of the day, and cried, because in thy words I very much hoped. My eyes to thee have prevented the morning, that I might meditate on thy words. Hear thou my voice, O Lord, according to thy mercy, and quicken me according to thy judgment. They that persecute me have drawn nigh to iniquity, but they are gone far off from thy law. Thou art near, O Lord, and all thy ways are truth. I have known from the beginning concerning thy testimonies, that thou hast founded them forever. See my humiliation and deliver me, for I have not forgotten thy law. Judge my judgment and redeem me. Quicken thou me for thy word's sake. Salvation is far from sinners, because they have not sought thy justifications. Many, O Lord, are thy mercies. Quicken me according to thy judgment. Many are they that persecute me and afflict me, but I have not declined from thy testimonies. I beheld the transgressors, and I pined away because they kept not thy word. Behold, I have loved thy commandments, O Lord. Quicken me thou in thy mercy. The beginning of thy words is truth. All the judgments of thy justice are forever. Princes have persecuted me without cause, and my heart hath been in awe of thy words. I will rejoice at thy words as one that hath found great spoil. I have hated and abhorred iniquity, but I have loved thy law. 7 times a day I have given praise to thee for the judgment of thy justice. Much peace have they that love thy law, and to them there is no stumbling block. I looked for thy salvation, O Lord, and I loved thy commandments. My soul hath kept thy testimonies, and hath loved them exceedingly. I have kept thy commandments and thy testimonies, because all my ways are in thy sight. Let my supplication, O Lord, come near in thy sight. Give me understanding according to thy word. Let my request come in before thee. Deliver thou me according to thy word. My lips shall utter a hymn when thou shalt teach me thy justifications. My tongue shall pronounce thy word, because all thy commandments are justice. Let thy hand be with me to save me, for I have chosen thy precepts. I have longed for thy salvation, O Lord, and thy law is my meditation. My soul shall live and shall praise thee, and thy judgments shall help me. I have gone astray like a sheep that is lost. Seek thy servant, because I have not forgotten thy commandments. Friends, let us rest in the words of this psalm that cry out from the heart. They cry out from the heart, not just because they want to do the will of God, but when they see others not doing the will of God, not living according to his testimonies, their heart is broken, their eyes are watering. They beg the Lord not to bring the day with all its work and labor, but to let my eyes stay closed. Let me meditate on your testimonies even more, Lord. Give me more time to meditate on those testimonies before I begin my day of work, my day of sorrow, for I see those who do not love thy law, who do not live in fear of you, who do not hope for your salvation. Lord, give us a heart like unto thine. Lord, pierce our flesh for love of thee, for love of thy commandments, for your justice is right and true. O Lord, give us the heart of your blessed servant Mary. Give us her heart. Take away our hearts of stone, our wounded hearts, our broken hearts, our bleeding hearts. Lord, give us the pure, immaculate heart of Mary, that we may truly do thy will as she has. Lord, show us the Sacred Heart of Jesus again and again, that we may emulate him, in all our thoughts and words, that we may meditate you, as did our Father Francis love to meditate on you. He wanted to walk in the footsteps of Jesus. He wanted to walk in his footsteps, and that includes the cross. That includes testifying to your word, Lord, that it is right and just, that it is submitting to your will, not my will, but thou be done. Lord, grant us this, for thy mercies are great and your judgments are truth. Thy commandments are love, O Lord. Lord, have mercy upon us. Pierce our hearts, O Lord. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen.